Hello everyone and welcome to Stormworks Build and Rescue, a new awesome game that is currently in early access that is all about building your rescue vehicle and saving the day. You can build many types of boats in this game, submarines and helicopters, and there is a couple of things that I wanted to show you that are, in my opinion, outstanding about how the game is actually handling those issues, and the amount of creative freedom that it gives you is just staggering. I've been trying to make a video about this game for a very long time, and now finally I got around to do it, so let's jump right into it. We'll start a new game here. As you can see, there is multiple options that you can choose from. Career, creative, there are actually two, which means that you can either follow like a career path and go through different types of missions that will give you money and you know, better equipment that will allow you to upgrade your base of operations and get access to more interesting things. And creative mode is obviously the one where you have access to everything right away. What I wanted to show you in this video is basically how the game starts, because there is a relatively good tutorial that explains the core gameplay mechanics of the game, so we'll follow with that. And as you can see, you are greeted by a screen where you actually have to make your character. I don't really understand this point because well, there is no RPG element in the game as far as I have been able to notice, but you know, let's get done with this relatively quickly. Okay, I am relatively satisfied with the looks. We have, as you can see, a sky pirate type of guy, and I think we're ready to jump into the game. Alright, so you start in this little room. This is where you live. This is where you sleep, and this is where you, all your things are. So as you can see, conditions are pretty, I would say, Spartan, meaning that there's little things that you can actually have. But it doesn't really matter, because you will be able to upgrade that later as you progress in the game. And obviously you live on a very small island, where you have basically your house, a tower where you receive all the radio contact, and the harbor, or how do you call that, like a landing pad, and you know, a workshop basically, where all your vehicles are being constructed and held together. So what we are going to do is we'll fix our boat. This is your first mission that you need to do, is fixing your boat that was damaged in the recent storm. So as you can see, the building style in the game is made of blocks basically, and that gives you the amount of creative freedom that is pretty much unparalleled to any other game, because not only you can design a relatively complex things all by yourself depending on what you want to make, but also the amount of blocks that you have is quite large. So pretty much you will never be limited by the parts that you have. But this might be something that you have seen in other games. But there is another thing that this game features that is relatively new, in my opinion, although it has been seen in other games as well, but it gives you an amount of creative freedom that is just incredible. So the game wants us to basically show how things are done, and of course we'll tell you to learn the camera. So once this is done, you get to learn how the building is done. So obviously you can place your blocks, you can drag and drop them to have multiple blocks at the same time of the same kind. And then the next thing is that you will have different types of blocks depending on their size, but not size really, but rather their shape. And the way the blocks are attached, as you can see, is you hover over a particular face, and the block will attach to that face, facing, you know, in a proper orientation. So we will drag and drop a bunch of those sloping blocks here to actually finish up the edge of our boats. And now we need to finish up the front. For those blocks that might have different types of orientations, and not necessarily the one that you might want to do or want, you have even more creative freedom on how those will be attached. So you can rotate them, you can move them, you can do whatever you want, you can flip them. Here this will be something relatively simple to do, and this is the part that actually got me very excited about the game, and that's the logic part. So as you can see, here we are actually starting with almost finished design, And we just need to connect everything together. And this might look rather intimidating at first. I will admit that, but it gets really simple once you get the hang of it. So what we are going to do is we'll need to connect the on and off button to the engine on and off input, which means that we'll be able to turn the engine on and off just by press of a button. Then we will connect the pilot seat throttle to the engine, so we will be able to control the engine throttle. Now we'll need to connect the steering from the pilot seat to the rudder. We have the out. As you can see, there are many other things that you can normally use in a pilot seat, but not in this case. And the last thing that we'll connect is the engine power output to the propeller. And this way we will be able to turn our engine on and off. We will be able to control the engine throttle. We will be able to control the rudder, and we will have the power shaft, the power from the engine being transmitted to the rudder. And once this is done, the only thing left to do is saving our boat. So as you can see now, I will be just saving my boat. Let's call it first boat. And once this is ready, we can spawn it. And hello, we have a new mission. Our boat is spawned and it's ready for use. And now we need to, to see what mission that we've received. And it turns out that we have a tutorial mission that is all about delivering the crate to the nearby hospital. It's very simple. The crate is right next to us, so we need to pick it up and and throw it inside our boat. I've been failing at this multiple times. Like, it's not very hard, but it kinda is at the same time. It's like the physics in this game is well done. I will give it that, but is also kinda maybe a little bit overdone. It's like, I think it's a thing that with Unity that like there's little friction, way less than you would normally expect in real world. But anyway, as you can see, you can have a third-person view once you are in your vehicle, or first-person view. And now we need to turn the engine on. So we'll press the button. As you remember there, we connected the button to the engine power. No, the engine on and on output. So now we can use W, A, S and D to actually steer our boat and go to the nearby island to deliver the crate. And as you can see, there are many other locations around. There are some drilling platforms. There are many other islands that you can discover that you might be sent to during a mission. Or there are even islands that you will be able to buy and make like a better and bigger base. And discovering those islands is done on by exploration. And there is a very complicated and in-depth system of how this works, but we won't go into detail about that in this video, because what I wanted to show you basically is how the game handles in the first impressions. I must say that I personally like it very much, although steering some vehicles is less easy than I expected. Like for example, currently I'm just unable to put this boat where I want it to be. But we won't be discouraged by this because, well, there is nothing that an experienced pilot like myself can handle. Well, or at least I'll continue to tell that to myself, because otherwise I will be very much disappointed. Alright, so we have the crate on the platform now, and now we'll just have to finish figure out a way to get back. Alright, so I think with my jumping in and out of the water, I kind of defeated the purpose of having a dock, but well, still, this has been done. So we have to go to the hospital, which is right nearby, as you can see, and Susie is waiting for us over there. So the mission, as you can see, this mission is very simple. What we need to do basically is deliver just the crate to the hospital, and once this is done, the mission is completed. So yes, we have that mission completed, and that's about it. Now we all have to go back to our home base and probably go to bed. As you can see, you can go inside the hospital, and there are many objects that you can interact with. And my favorite object in this hospital is obviously the TV that we are absolutely going to grab, because we don't have a TV in our small little hideout. So we'll take it. And there is a helipad, so later in the game, if we have helicopters, then you will be able to go here using your trusty helicopter. But right now, we delivered the crate, and we took the TV. I believe that, fortunately for us, this TV is waterproof and shock resistant as well, so nothing that we can put it through will matter very much. And, you know, that was a very successful mission, I would say. That was something that was very successful. So now we just need to go back to our home base, and I will meet you there. Alright, so we are close to our home base, and now we need to test our piloting skills even more, because what we need to do, and that is never easy, is, I mean, in this game for some reason, it's exceptionally hard. It's like parking your vehicle, especially backwards, is really, really hard. And yes, we were able to, oh yeah, to park our boat relatively close to where it's supposed to be. So we'll throw the TV out. Nice. And now we go out, and we can go back to our base. Of course, we bring the TV with us. So as you can see, we're back in our base, or house, and I think I still need to work on the orientation of that TV. I haven't really figured out where to put it. But to finish our mission, all we need to do is go back to sleep. And there it is. We have successfully completed the Stormworks tutorial, and we can now jump into the more advanced stuff and start our career. In the next video, what I would like to show you are more advanced creations from other users, from Steam Workshop, and maybe from me as well, that would go into detail about what you can actually build in Stormworks Build and Rescue, and details about the logic system as well, because I think the logic system is the big advantage that this game has, and it's something that is really cool. I really look forward into seeing its full potential. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider liking it. I would also like to thank Joe, Love, and Shirax, and all my patrons on Patreon for your continuous support. You guys are amazing. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. My name is Mark Frim, and I will see you next time.